So it is okay. So this is the problem
It
I have
yeah.
with you people is that the I never once was able to get a Muslim to like, or actually maybe two Muslims I've met, but I
Hmm.
haven't actually been able to get Muslims to admit
Hmm.
to taking accountability for for your actions. It's something an issue you guys have. Like the fact that you just said that
Uh-huh.
basically it's Israel's fault, that there's this whole Sunni v Shia issue. It's all Israel's. Like it's literally the most. You know who kills more Muslims than anyone in the whole world? It's Muslims.
Yeah.
Israel is not involved. So when you look at what's happening in Sudan, where
Hmm.
Israel is not involved, but there's Muslims killing other Muslims, or what happened in Yemen, Muslims killing other Muslims, or
Yeah.
what's happening right now in Iran, Muslims killing other Muslims, and what's happening all over the Middle East, Muslims killing Muslims in Iraq, those Muslims killing Muslims, Syria, Muslims, all of this, and you have the
Nigeria
audacity
too. Yeah.
to say, and well, they're killing Christians, but yes, there was Muslims killing Muslims, but the point is, all these fucking tragedies and a lot of them were
Hmm.
genocides or are genocides. They're happening right now. For example, like the Congo and Sudan and all that, you have the audacity to say Israel is the one causing the issues between the Sunni and the Shias, and that's why they're fighting. You have to be, as a Muslim, be smart and understand. Sometimes you guys make mistakes, and sometimes you should take accountability for your actions. I'm not saying you're the one who caused it, but you people are the reasons why Sunnis and Shias hate each other. It's got nothing to do with Israel. It's got nothing to do with the Jews. This is an issue that has stemmed such a long time ago, the Sunni v Shia issue. It's not something that happened 25 years ago. It's been happening before the state of Israel existed. Muslims killing Muslims. And you can't deny that because it is true. So you cannot blame Israel when this issue started before 1948. Muslims killing other Muslims. So I hope you
Okay.
understand, you at least
Okay, I got
admit,
a point.
maybe I'm wrong.
The first point you made, that Muslims are basically picturing this situation that Muslims are killing each other all across the globe and yada yada. That's the impression. They're killing each other in Sudan, they're killing in Nigeria, and there are also Muslims in Nigeria, not just the Christians, by the way. But the thing is, what proportionality you're basically drawing here? There are 2 billion or less Muslims. By that proportionality, that's less than 10%. The person, the entity that basically benefits from the divisions from Shia and Sunni is Israel. People have changed their mind. The people are basically uniting. People are basically putting their sectarian differences behind because of their actions. Okay, Allah, we are seeing
Can you
Shia and
put
Sunni on the ground right now. That's the thing.
but can you put your theory into action? Can you explain how the Jews somehow are responsible for why Sudanese
It's not the Jews.
the
It is
Sudanese
the
genocide?
Zionists for sure. When I say
Okay.
not Sudan, sorry, I'm saying when I you say Jews, you're basically framing this thing. It's the Zionists.
Well, that's what you said
All the
before.
material I read, all the
You
material.
just said Jews before. You never said
I'm
Zionists
not
until
gonna
just then. You always
generalize,
said Jews.
I'm not gonna generalize all this thing in the way. The all material pro pali thing that I read is Jewish, primarily Jewish. Yeah, it's
Okay,
written from
and
the Palestinian perspective.
you
Yeah.
as a Muslim
Hmm.
need to take care of all your Muslims. You believe everyone's brothers and sisters under the Ummah, and you need to take care of every Muslim who is struggling and who is dying. You focusing on such a small population of people who are having a hard time in a war when there's a
Hot time.
genuine genocide
Hot time,
going
really.
on in Sudan.
They're having a
Yeah, it's
hard
a
time.
war. Yes, it's a
It's a
war. But when
shelter.
there's
They
an
have the
actual
medical
genocide,
facilities.
and then
Gazans do
when
not
there's a
have that privilege.
there are 500,000 deaths. There's only 70,000 deaths, 72,000 deaths
It's a
in one
genocide,
place, and
right?
there's
Can we
500,000.
affirm that what happened in Sudan is a
There's,
genocide?
of course, it is. Do you not
What about the
believe?
Israeli genocide? It's a genocide?
Okay. So we're just not going to talk about the 500,000 people who died. Okay.
See, that is
No, no,
exactly the
it's fine.
thing. Hmm.
This is all
That's
Muslims.
exactly the thing.
Sudan,
You're trying
who
to
cares? No one cares.
you're
Only
trying to
Gaza.
point out our hypocrisy, but at the same time, you're
Of
not
course,
able to affirm that there was starvation in Gaza. There's no genocide. That's what you
I'll
claim.
talk about that.
On
We can
your
talk about that right
undertone,
now.
yeah.
No, it's not a genocide. But before we talk
Yeah,
about
see,
Gaza,
that's exactly the
and
case.
no, no, no,
We
no,
affirm that what's
no.
happening in Gaza,
Okay.
Sudan, it's a genocide, but not in
So,
Gaza. That's the thing.
so you say there's a genocide. So what's a genocide?
Genocide, people getting, a community, a religious entity getting destroyed by a people who have intent to destroy them, whole or in part. Not
Okay,
about
fantastic.
numbers
So
for sure, right?
the key word, and you said it, which is correct, is intent. So yes.
Yeah,
So you are saying there's a genocide. That's you're calling it a
indeed.
genocide. Now you need to prove to me
Yeah.
that Israel has the intent, or the IDF has the intent that they're committing a genocide. I'll listen.
They blew up three-story buildings. They blew up a six-story buildings. Okay, the Aldos family who were in the three-story buildings in the central Gaza. They said there were no warnings. There were no evacuation orders. We were blown up to bits in the ground, and the human rights organizations, Amnesty International, no, not Amnesty, it's Human Rights Watch. They said there was no Hamas target under the building, and the survivors of the building, they said we were not given any evacuation orders. There was no Hamas and yada yada. That's one of the things. They have been blowing up schools, hospitals, cemeteries. Cemeteries. That's really interesting. They blew up even cemeteries, libraries, mosques, even churches. That's the thing. I can go on and on and on.
So
Yeah,
so
and starvation
I'll be
in
honest.
this topic. Yeah.
It doesn't really prove intent just because they hit buildings and they hit mosques and they hit hospitals. But if we want to
Yeah.
go by that logic, so does that mean what happened in World War II with the Germans, that was a genocide then? Because they hit hospitals, they hit schools, they hit civilians. It was German when England attacked Germany, the resistance groups attacked Germany in World War II. Were they committing a genocide?
The people
Because
say
according to your
that,
logic, then
mhm,
that's a genocide as well.
like, I don't know what really happened on the ground in World War II. Like, millions of people, Germans died, right?
They
By hands of
literally
few.
had airplanes going over, I forgot the fucking city, but there's like a famous one. They went over a German town, plane aerial raid, and they just dropped bombs
Yeah.
on, and it hit, some of them hit buildings such as like hospitals and like, like the health infrastructures and stuff like that. But as a whole, come
I
on,
know
use your
you've
brain. Is
you
England
picked that
committing a
from Ben
genocide?
Shapiro thing, debating a small girl in university. I've seen that clip. It's hilarious. Yeah, but the thing
Okay,
is,
so
that is bad
was
too,
England
right?
committing a genocide? Yeah, fantastic. War is bad. Congrats. But was it a genocide?
Yeah, it's a genocide.
Okay,
Will always be a
so
genocide.
because if that's a genocide, so when Iraq war happened as well, that was also genocide because there were hospitals who were hit and homes. So that was also genocide, correct?
Yeah, it was a genocide. It was a big fat mistake, as Trump
Fantastic.
says.
And so in World War One, when Australia went to Turkey, and they didn't really do much, but then the US and England as well. So that's also genocide because they also hit civilians and they also hit
No, the fact
infrastructure.
is, you
But you
take
know what happens,
World
my
War
friend,
One
is
and World War Two
the
into the
world.
picture. Hmm.
But my point is, and this is why it doesn't make sense and it doesn't work for you, is that everything becomes a genocide and the meaning of genocide is lost. Because to be honest with you, when you say, oh, there's a genocide in Gaza, I'll be like, I don't give a fuck anymore because everything's a genocide. So what? It's the same as everything. It loses its value. So no, your whole example and reasoning of why there's a genocide in Gaza is completely invalid.
How is it
Let's try something
invalid?
different.
How you're twisting this?
Let's try
I'm not
something
saying
different.
this.
Let's try something different. Do you accept the 72,000 dead that the same Hamas Gaza Ministry of Health state? You have to admit, it's the only legitimate source we can use, although I think they're overinflating it.
Twelve
So they
hundred people died on
looks
October
worse.
7th. Yeah. How do I believe the Israeli government? No one believes, not even the
No, no,
non-Muslim
no. Hold up.
Americans, the
Before you
leftists.
deflect
Yeah, we
October
can go.
7th, I'm not talking about October 7th. I'm
No,
talking
I'm not
about
deflecting. I'm saying 1,200 people
but
died.
you
We know
are
that from
because
who? From who? The Israeli government, right? The IDF and the
okay.
other
So
ministry.
so we
How do
have
I
to
believe
then,
that?
but my point is,
How do the Palestinians
so
believe that?
okay, fine.
That's
How many people died in Gaza since October 7th in
the
Gaza?
total number we have, 72,000. Yeah.
Okay. So if we believe that number,
Yeah.
we have to then, and by the way, you accept 72,000. They do not distinguish between combatant and civilian,
Yeah, we have the
correct?
numbers. Exactly what's the case. Yeah.
So they say 72,000 as a whole. Now, do you know how many Israel claim? How many Hamas they've killed? Because in order to be
Eight.
fair, you have to take both sides with their numbers. The
Sure,
fairest
sure.
thing we can do.
Sure,
So what
I
does
do
Israel say?
have the
How
number.
many Hamas?
When
How
we
much
had
have
the
they claimed?
53,000 death toll from the Gaza Health Ministry, the Israeli government, they released, what do you call this? They announced that we have killed over 8,000 militants. And it has been reported by The Guardian and by the Israeli magazine, Plus 972 magazine, that we have killed over 8,000, nearly 8,000 Hamas fighters. Now, according to them, if you look at the Gaza Health Ministry numbers, that means, according to their own numbers, they have killed over 83% of non combatants. And the Guardian investigation also involved.
No, 25,000 combatants. So when we take both of the numbers, you have 25,000. Even though they said 25 to 30, I'm just going to go low number. 25,000 Hamas versus IPO and all the other brigades and all that shit. 25,000 versus 72,000, meaning give or take 50,000 or just under 50,000 civilians. Okay. But 25 were Hamas. Do we know what the ratio is roughly? It's about 1 to 3. For
They
every
had
one Hamas,
their
there's been three terrorists,
they had
three
their
civilians.
they had their
So,
intelligence, military intelligence leak. They said, like, it depicted that 5 out of 6 Palestinians who were killed are non-combatants. Five out
well,
of out of
if we're
six.
using simple
Yeah.
maths, if Hamas say 72 and Israel say that 25,000 of those were not civilians, then when you break it apart, it's a 1 to 3. That's the numbers of both sides, and you're putting it together. That's just simple maths, my friend. Now, when we play again, the numbers of Hamas, they say 72,000.
Yeah.
What's the population of Gaza?
2 million. So genocide is not about
Fantastic.
numbers, right?
And
Last time I
and
checked.
and
Uh-huh.
no, it's not. But let me finish. Let me finish.
Sure.
The own report, you probably heard about 70% of the buildings have been damaged. You probably heard of that before, the
Same
Gaza
copy
stat,
paste, yeah.
70%. This is the only genocide in the human history where the population has been genocided has maintained a positive birth rate. In the Armenian genocide, people were not having sex and having kids. In the Holocaust, for example, the, the Jews were not having sex and having children. In the genocide in Cambodia, they were not having sex and having children. But somehow the genocide in Sudan, they're not having a positive birth rate. The population's declined. But somehow in Gaza, the population has increased since the beginning of the genocide.
No,
So how does
it
that make
hasn't.
any sense?
You know, it makes sense. When you see the what's behind the numbers, you don't just look at the stats. You look behind the numbers. These are basically the people who are also basically getting pushed into the Gaza Strip, who have been getting pushed prior to October 7th for a very long time, from different parts of Israel into Gaza Strip. That's how the population is growing. It doesn't make any
Who?
sense that how the population has been growing. Like, by January 2024, we had 15,000 people getting admitted for the malnutrition treatment, for God's sake. And these are the people who had some money and they spared it. And the people who had some more money, they bribed people to get out of the Gaza Strip from the Egyptian side. For sure, 15,000 people, the women who basically gave birth naturally, were discharged within few hours on the same day. Can you imagine how bizarre is that? And the women who get perform deliveries by operation, that C-section, so discharged the next day or the 2 day. How bizarre is that? When people say the population is growing, they're having babies like crazy. No, they're not having babies like crazy, man.
But the population right now is larger than the population of October 7, 2023
No,
of
it's not
Gaza.
larger. Tons of people have
It
been
is.
killed. We don't even know the people who are still under the rubble. How
There
many
is
million
there are
Rubik?
reported 60,
Hmm.
60 babies are born a day in Gaza. A day. And the total death count we've said from Hamas's own numbers is
Yeah.
72,000. When you do the maths,
72,000, and I
there are
already
more
made the point.
people
According to their
born.
own numbers, the Israelis' own numbers,
No,
according to their
it's
own
not
numbers,
Israel. No, my
8,000,
friend, 72
83%
is
dead are
not,
non-combatants, including
my
20,000
friend.
children.
Even if it's 8,000, like you said, which is not, but even if you say 72,000 is Hamas's numbers, not Israel's numbers, it's Hamas's numbers.
What do you
They're
mean
saying
Hamas is
72,000.
Yeah, they're saying they've been
The Gaza
historically
Ministry
accurate
of
about
Health,
that. Sure. What's your point?
their death, their, it doesn't matter what Israel say, because Hamas's numbers, the Gaza Ministry of Health, they said 72,000. And they've also said 60 babies a day. When you do the math, it's a positive birth rate. I'll show
Also
you
the
right now.
birth,
It's a
also
positive
the
birth
birth
rate.
we have having right now in the present in 2026, these children who are being born, look at the conditions. You can look at the photographs, the conditions they're born. Malnutrition,
In the Armenian
malnutrition babies.
genocide, there was a decline in population. In the Holocaust, there's a decline. In Sudan, there was a decline. In Cambodia, there was a decline. Those are genocides, just to name a few. But the first genocide in the history of the world to have a positive population rate is Gaza. Please spare me,
Population
my
is
friend.
not growing, man. These are the people getting pushed into different. You know how many people in Gaza are not Gazans?
72,000.
How many people in Gaza?
72,000 from
Yeah,
Gaza's Ministry of Health
yeah.
said were killed. They also said 60 babies a day. That is an increase. The number increased.
The number was
It is not a genocide.
number was even
If
higher
a
before
country
October
is trying
7th,
to genocide,
or even
if
before.
Israel's trying to genocide,
No, what was the
to
birth
Gaza,
rate
they
before
must
October
be
7th?
no. They must
No, we
have
can
a
see.
horrible job at genocide because they somehow can't kill the Palestinians because they keep fucking more than they're killing. So the Israel is the worst country to cause a genocide because they can't reduce the number.
41% drop in births compared with prior levels in part of 2025. Aid agencies estimate roughly 130 babies per day were still being born during the war, but major increase in miscarriages, premature births, and complications, and yada yada yada. So yeah, we have this PHR saying 41% of the people, 41% drop in birth rates compared with prior levels, and birth within the fell significantly after October 7, with reports indicating around 40% decline compared with pre-war levels. PHR. And the Guardian also has the same assessment, 41%. So yeah, even if your number is accurate, that's 60 births, I'm sure it's what they're saying is it's pretty much higher before October 7th itself. Population is not growing, man. Women giving birth like naturally, discharged within few hours. Like, come on, man. We have the UN saying 15,000 people basically admitted for malnutrition treatment. How do you expect, man, 100 plus aid agencies signing basically joint statement that they are blocking our aid trucks? They're causing starvation
Who
deliberately.
Hamas? Who Hamas?
IDF, the Israeli military.
The IDF. Did you see the UN
100%.
report when they reported only 5% of their trucks arrived to the destination?
Okay. If you're
Israel never
referring,
blocked the UN.
they blocked
They never
the
have.
aid trucks. There are pro-Israeli
I
testimonials, bro.
just told you the
No,
UN's own report said that armed militias inside of Gaza
they did not say
prevented them.
Hamas, right?
Only 5%.
They're not saying Hamas. How do you know it's Hamas, by the way?
So who's the armed militia inside of Gaza?
There are many armed militias. Many armed militias. But like,
Is it the
let's get
IDF?
this one thing let's just get this one thing straight.
Yes
When
or no?
we say, no, we are getting there. The thing is, no, you're not. There's one thing that you do not know, seriously. Have you heard about Abu Shabab, the popular forces? When you guys say it's not possible to distinguish between the Hamas and the civilians, how do you know it is the Hamas? Do you know about the Abu Shabab, the leader of the popular forces? They are Palestinians too, just like the Hamas, and they're Israeli backed. You look at the base they were living here with all the aid they intercepted. They have the SUVs, these fancy little motorbikes. They have so many stuff, and they were not bombed. That part of Gaza was not bombed. Beautiful infrastructure, beautiful people, and he died a beautiful death. You know, the IDF soldier spat on his face. That's what the reports say when he was begging for his life from the IDF soldier. I'm like, yeah, sure. There was an assessment. Even the media did not, conclude that it was not Hamas. It was Hamas intercepting the aid trucks? Question mark. If you're talking about
I didn't say Hamas. I
October
said armed militias.
2025. Armed militias, yeah, sure, but that's the thing, like
It wasn't
people
Israel.
have
That's my point.
concluded.
My point is,
Who backs Abu
Israel
Shabab?
opens the gate, the UN trucks go through. It is no longer Israel's responsibility. They UN themselves said only 5% of their trucks got to the destination. 95% of them were stopped by armed militias and they were looted and
That is
stolen.
another case. What
That is
happens
not
inside?
Israel's fault.
That's the another case when the trucks go inside. But we were talking about the trucks getting blocked, not getting entered into Gaza Strip in the first
They weren't
place.
being blocked.
They were being blocked.
There's
They're
only
joint.
only a small there's only a small 3-4 month period, which was first they let them in to deliver 6 months worth of aid, and then they stopped it for 3 months because they knew there's 6 months worth of aid inside of Gaza. So they stopped it for a bit because they're doing tactics. That was the only time Israel did stop it. I will admit it wasn't like a constant flow. There was a pause. But that pause was because Israel already allowed 6 months worth of aid into Gaza, and then they stopped for 3 months, 2 to 3 months. It was just over 2 months, about 3 months worth. That's the only time they stopped it.
2 to 3
The other
months, but
time,
still,
still
Khan
let them in.
Yunis.
But my point is, they let them in. It's not Israel's responsibility anymore
But
that they
still,
don't
we
get
have
in.
the
That's
IPC
why
reports,
the
right? Level
GHS.
4 of
That's
starvation.
why the
Level 4 of
but
starvation
that's
still.
not famine, and that's why the GHF came on, which
Level
was an
4 is really
independent
severe,
US yeah,
Level
fantastic.
4
There
is
were
really
people
severe.
who were hungry, yeah,
Yeah.
but not famine, and that's why the GHF came
What do you mean not
because
famine?
the
That's
UN
emergency. That's starvation.
it's not famine. You said
It's
it yourself, it's not
what
famine.
do you
Level
mean?
5 is famine, and
Yeah, there was
the
famine in Khan Yunis,
no, there
Deir
wasn't.
Balada.
There wasn't.
Khan
There
Yunis,
wasn't.
Deir Balada.
But
Yes,
my
there was.
friend, if you let me
The
finish,
in fact
the
the areas around
GHF,
the IPC reports this
the
Khan Yunis and
okay,
Deir Balada hit level 5.
fantastic,
And you're saying
fantastic.
that INERA, Christian Aid, Danish Refugee Council, Norwegian Refugee Council, Polish Humanitarian Aid, Pax Christi,
Mm,
Sybil Kairos,
of course,
Oxfam, Doctors
fantastic,
Without Borders,
fantastic,
Save the
fantastic,
Children organizations, all they're
fantastic.
lying. We have pro Israeli
Yeah, because
testimonials,
there's
for God's sake,
ah,
man. There is starvation, man. Have you seen the videos of
you
the compound of
defending
Abu
them
Shabab?
so.
The
Oh, have
basically
you seen the videos,
eight
my
cartons
friend? I've seen
packed.
so many videos.
I
I've
think the
seen so many
CNN
videos,
also put
bro.
that video online, man.
Oh,
His compound.
CNN is so reliable. Yeah,
I bet you did not
absolutely.
hear about Abu Shabab
Yeah.
before this conversation, did you?
No, no, I didn't. No, I definitely didn't. But my point is, even with, I'll agree. Like, sure, like, I agree. As in, like, I believe you because I don't know anything about it. I'll look into it later. But it's as simple as that. I know it might be complicated for you to understand, but it's common
Yeah,
sense
you're
and logic.
making it
Now,
complicated. You're making it more complicated than it is.
no, you're just a little retarded and slow, so you're struggling to understand. But it's really not. So again,
Really,
the
bro?
whole point of a
That is
genocide,
how you want to play?
and
You did not know about Abu Shabab and you're saying calling me a retard. Have you
my
seen the
friend,
videos
do
of
you know
Abu
everything?
Shabab
Do you know
holding the
everything? Do you know
humanitarian aid?
everything? Do
I
you
do
know
not know
everything?
anything, but you're a Zionist, you're a
So
Jewish, you,
I don't know
yeah,
everything. I don't know everything. So
yeah.
what?
Certainly, you told me a lot of things that I do not know, and I'm telling you something you do not know. Have you seen the videos
And
posted by the
your point?
CNN? Abu Shabab's compound holding tons of AIDS cartons in good condition, packed, and they're enjoying the luxury of the Israeli-backed, you know,
You talking about the same CNN that posted about that starving boy that turned out he had a medical issue and his brother was completely fine in the same photo next to him? The same CNN?
The same
who then had to
CNN,
apologize.
who
The same
reported
where they
the
had to
Israeli
apologize.
military pointing out the Israeli the Arabic calendar, saying that this is the Hamas roster. That was really hilarious. If you
My
recall
point
that,
is, CNN are incompetent, just like the BBC, who
even
also have to
though
apologize,
there
just
are
like
your
the
people
Washington
inside
Post,
there.
just like New York Times. Who? The lefty Jews. I don't fucking count them, bro. They're retarded. But anyways, the point is, you're quoting these sources, which to me holds zero value. They've lost their credibility. They used to be super credible, but nowadays they make mistakes all the fucking time. So to be honest with you, my friend, I don't take their shit serious. It's just the way it is.
Because they report against your narrative. That's the thing,
No,
right?
because when Israel call them out and take them to court for defamation, they then have to apologize and say, yeah, we were wrong, just like the example I just said. So it's not
I
like,
think
oh, it's
we
because they're
definitely have
against the
more
Israeli.
problem. We have more problem with these media outlets than you do. I'm pretty sure of that because we know
Do you like Al
3,000.
Jazeera?
I'm not talking about Al Jazeera. What I'm saying is when
I'm just
people
curious. Do you like them?
3,000.
Do you think they're
Yeah,
reliable?
yeah, yeah. I like them. Sure.
You
You don't like them,
That's all I
right?
have to know, my friend.
The thing is, we
Fantastic, my
have
friend.
3,000 people, they say,
But you don't like the
died
IRGC.
in Lebanon. Okay. But when it comes to one or two Israelis soldiers dying, okay, they say three Israeli soldiers killed. Okay. But when they're saying Lebanese died, it's Lebanese who died in somehow reason. Tiny little article below there, you can read it, or you have to pay for the subscription, sure. But the Israeli soldiers died. Oh no, they were killed by the ruthless Hezbollah drones, yada yada. But Lebanese died for some reason.
Okay,
No one
cool.
knows.
Okay. You know what?
Okay,
It's fine.
bro.
I'm just gonna. You contradicted yourself so fucking hard right there. It's insane. You just
Okay,
said
bro.
you like Al Jazeera because they're reliable. This Al
Yeah, they're
Jazeera
reliable.
reliability support the
Yeah.
IRGC, which oppresses people, and you support that. So therefore, you support
Nothing's
the
perfect,
oppression of
man.
the to 40,000 dead Iranians, Persians who are dead because of the people who you
Good,
support.
good. We
Fantastic.
are getting there.
Good.
I
Okay,
affirm
my
that
friend.
thousands of people
Fantastic.
died in Iran by the Iranian
Fantastic.
government.
Or was
How
it
would
3,000? Because that's what the IRGC. They said 3,000. So what
3,000?
is it?
Whatever the number, thousands of people died. Okay. Now these are
But
how do
you're
you
happy
know
because
that
you like the
thousands of
regime.
no. How do you know thousands of people died, by the way? That's not my point. How do you know? How do you know the oppression that took place? I'm not saying I'm denying it. I'm just asking you in that sense. And I affirm what happened pre-war. It was the human rights
Because
organizations like Human Rights Watch and who were on the ground investigating each and every aspect of the details,
it's a
so as
very
the
well
Amnesty
documented thing.
International, well
And
documented thing. By what? By who? Human rights
well,
organizations,
you
right?
know who I talked to? I talked to Persians themselves who escaped Iran and asked them, why are
Sure,
you in Australia?
sure,
And that's how I learned. I asked the people who lived there. I don't care
sure.
what some random American company, right, who have no idea because they never lived there. I talk to the people from there. That's how I know
They're
what they
saying
lived through,
exactly what you're
through their
saying to me, man.
experience.
They're saying exactly what you are saying. They're not contradicting, or neither you are contradicting them,
So what is your
right?
point?
My point is these are the same organizations who passed their reports on Gaza. Why do you basically call them leftist or decline or say this is bullshit? But when it comes to Iran, oh, IRGC, see the
Because
reports, human rights organizations, oh, IRGC is killing Persians. Man, this is hypocrisy, man. This is the
no,
hypocrisy.
it's
The
not
same human rights
because
organizations
no,
who
it's not
pass
because
verdict on
this
Iran, but not
no,
somehow
it's
with
not actually.
Gazans. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the
No, it's
case.
not because I can actually prove the guy I did the whole time and you just seem to forget about it. I can repeat
No,
it
I
all if you want.
proved by the numbers, by the Israeli numbers, and by the Hamas numbers, most of the people died were the non-combatants. 5 out of 6 from the Israeli intelligence and the Israeli
Right.
magazines and the
So
newspaper, for
whatever I
sure.
said the last
Yeah,
like 30, 40 minutes we've been speaking just
starvations.
went this ear and went out this ear. So you just didn't hear
You
anything.
you were
It's
doing
fine,
nothing,
my friend.
just
If you're not
making
going
it
to be
more
open to
complicated.
listen, if you're not going to
I've
be
been
open to
listening
listen,
to
there's
you.
no point.
I've been listening
Okay,
to
so what
you.
did I say?
Come on. But yeah, they're not committing a genocide and yada because you went back to World War II multiple times, then you went back to Sudan and yada yada yada, making it a whole what do you call this? Noodles. Do you know the pro-Israeli Zionist testimonials? Cindy McCain, wife of John McCain, she's the widow of John McCain, pro-Zionist. She's saying they're blocking the aid trucks, killing aid workers, starving children. And another, John Miliband, former foreign minister of the UK, he's saying they're stopping our aid trucks because they're finding little nail clippers, tiny little surgical scissors in the aid trucks, and they're sending them back. Pro-Zionist, pro-Israeli testimonials. Pretty bizarre, ain't it?
Who's John McCain?
John McCain, the most pro-American senator, right? Of our father's timeline, at least. Not famous among us. Pro-Zionist.
What did he
My
say?
father knows more about him, not me. His
So
wife
what did he
is
say?
the head of the World Food Program, Cindy McCain. And this is her assessment.
The World Food Program.
Yeah.
Right. So it's because she has more knowledge than military generals and more than the UN, who they're the ones who came up with the Geneva Convention of genocide. So she has more authority. Okay, yeah, fantastic. Sure.
I just said she's saying that they're killing aid workers, starving children, blocking aid trucks. That's what I said, man. I did not say anything what you said.
No, what I'm saying is when Hamas uses the same vehicles that these aid workers use, it becomes a fucking challenge for Israel to double check
How
whether or not
prevalent?
this is a legitimate target.
How prevalent do you think it is? I'm taking everything as a face value, what you're saying right now for the moment, because I'm tired.
I'm
But
not a
how
military
prevalent is
general. I
that?
don't know. I'm not a military general. I don't know. Do you know? Are you a military
I don't
general? Do
know.
you know how prevalent
That's
this
why I
is?
gave you. Cindy McCain knows. Do you know more
I'm
than
giving you
her?
the example.
Why should I listen to you
No,
instead of
because
Cindy
I need
McCain?
what
She's the head of the World Food Program. She said they're killing
I'm
our
using
aid
the example
workers,
she
they're blocking the
used.
aid
I'm
trucks,
talking
they're
about
starving
her
children.
She's not a military general in the sense that, oh, it
She's
was a
doing her
complete
thing, right?
shock. It's a complete shock that when you volunteer, like you said it yourself, you were arrested by the Indian government or the Indian military. When you go and volunteer in a war zone, you have to understand your life is at risk. Potentially, you're going to die. That is the reality of going into a war
Okay,
zone as a volunteer.
you said she's not an Israeli
It's a
military
risk.
personnel. Sure.
No,
I
not
have some
Israeli. I'm just saying
statements.
she's not a military general. She's not.
Sure.
She doesn't know shit about conflict.
By the way, which rank is much higher? A general or admiral? I'm just asking. Enlighten me.
I don't know. I'm not in the military, my friend.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. There's a by the way, there's a statement from Emmy Eisen, the Israeli military admiral. Okay, she said, Israel will never be safe as long as we don't give Palestinians their freedom. I don't know what context did he or she said that. Sure.
She's talking about their own states.
Yeah, she's talking about their own state, setting a criteria that we will never be safe. And if you look at the fact that's the
Of
case,
course.
Hezbollah is sending missiles. And by the way, they send it to Sheba farms anyways, but Hamas is sending missiles. IRG is sending missiles. That is the most unsafe place for the Jews right now. The Canada is more safe. Australia, for God's sake, is more safe for the Jews.
So tell me, how many Jews are leaving Israel to go to other countries like Australia and Canada live? How many Jews are
Tons.
leaving since October 2023?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, guess. Just give me a number. Just give me a number. How many have left? Have fled?
Probably
the
less
war?
because the airspace was really fragile.
Before we get into, I don't know, the semantics you want to talk about, but do you understand what I'm saying? When you say the Palestinians is not their fault, it is.
Yeah, right
Can
now
you-
you
can
said
you-
Europe is not a safe place for the Jews. Palestinians have not to be blamed for that. Is that right?
But they are to blame for the Mizrahi Jews.
Mizrahi Jews. Where are these people from? Originally?
I just told you.
No, I missed that. That's why I asked you.
Originally they're from Yehuda. They're Jews. They're from Judah. But they
Where they're living before they went
right now
to
they're in
Israel.
Israel. Before Israel, it would have been Iraq. There would have been some in Turkey. There would have been some in Yemen. There's a lot of Yemeni Jews. And then you've got obviously the Sephardists,
Yeah.
which are the Moroccan Jews, the Spain Jews,
Okay,
all that stuff.
I got your point. First off, prior to Palestinians, prior to all this conflict, the way you're gonna frame this in two sense, politically and historically. But historical, it contradicts historically, because are you gonna say that all of a sudden Muslims wanted to kill the Jews in 1948?
I just told you why.
Why?
48. You're talking about when the state was created.
Yeah.
So I was just going like what I just talked about 1941 with the Farhud before the creation of Israel, about the Palestinian leader who
Okay,
convinced.
taking that into consideration too. Sure, I'll take 1800s also into the consideration. Why is it that, historically speaking, for 1,000 years, okay, the Muslims were spread, their rule was spread from the Spain to the borders of China, and all of a sudden they decided to kill the Jews, like in 1800s or 1900s? It doesn't really click me. And they took the Ottomans took 20,000 Jews from the Russia. Yeah, and before that, in 1500s, they took even more when the Spanish Andalus Islamic Caliphate collapsed. Along with the Muslims, no discrimination, they're taking people in, integrated into thriving cities in their Ottoman cities. 1500s. King Bayezid, and you have all these Jewish people, Jewish community, basically chanting for the Sultan, basically celebrating the anniversary of 1500, saying that be the Bayezid, the Sultan Bayezid, the same Sultan who basically took the Jews from Spain, be that person. That, I think, document is still there. I don't know, man. I think it has to do with something that has not to do with Judaism. I'm pretty sure. That is why I don't hate Jews, man. I don't hate Jews. I'm not a neo-Nazi.
So why are you happy when the Iran firing rockets at Israel? When it's
Yeah, I'm pretty
a Jewish
happy.
state?
I'll always be happy. I'll always be
Because
happy,
it's
man.
Jews who are living there. But it's Jews who are living there, mostly. Majority of Jews.
I don't know what kind of
So you're a bit of
assessment should I
contradicting.
draw, man.
Bit of a
You can say
hypocrite.
I'm a really horrible person, but what I've been seeing since
No, you're a
2023,
hypocrite.
I'm snapped.
Well, I don't.
You know?
I
Yeah.
don't care if you're happy that IRGC is shooting. You just said I don't hate Jews, but then you also say that you like Iran, the IRGC shooting rockets at Israel, which is where Jews live.
Yeah, I
because that's
want them
majority
to
of the Jews are.
eradicate the IDF.
So you're a
I'm
hypocrite.
sorry. Yeah.
Who are
And I
Jews?
also think,
Who are mainly Jews? Who are mainly
you know
Jews?
what I also think? I think the outcome of the Israeli state will be in our lifetimes, like we will be alive. It's whether maybe we'll be 80 years old. But I'm sorry, yeah, it's just a matter of time. A lot of lives will be gone, I think, on both the sides. The ones who will be doing all this stuff and yeah, but that's the truth. And after all, you guys say this is a war, right? So it's a war.
Fantastic. But just so you
Yeah.
actually accept your hypocrisy.
What hypocrisy? Yeah, I have
Do
no
you hate
problem
Jews?
bombing Israel. I have no problem.
Do you hate Jews? Do you hate Jews?
I have no problem bombing. I don't hate Jews. I have no problem bombing Israel.
Ah, okay. So you don't hate Jews.
So you stab
but
me,
you
and
want
you
to kill.
don't
So you
want me to
no,
stab you
no,
back.
No, don't run away. Don't run away from this. Don't run away. Don't run away. Laugh all
They
you want.
shouldn't. They shouldn't.
I know
They
you-
shouldn't
I know
order a
your
war.
brain-
They should not
I know
order
you're
a
stuck
war they
in
have
this
problem
corner.
with.
I know you're in a corner.
They should not
I know
bomb
you're in a
Iran in the first
corner,
place.
And you're very scared right now, and
I'm
it's
not
okay, Habibi.
What?
You
What's
can be
scared?
a pussy. It's okay. So
I'm not a
you don't
pussy,
like
and I
Jews,
did not ask your
but
father's
you
name.
you want Jews to die because IDF soldiers are mainly Jews. There's very few,
You have
Arabs
a
and
problem with
Christians and-
bombardment that
but
you
you're
brought
okay?
upon yourself.
You're okay with killing
The
Jews?
Israelis bombed it upon
You're
yourselves.
okay with killing, but that means it's okay. So you don't want to.
If you're gonna
don't
fuck
hate
with
Jews, but you want
Iranians,
them to kill Jews.
Iranians are gonna fuck back.
Iranians, but I thought
Yeah.
you said you care about the Persians who are dying. So you care. So you're talking about the IRGC?
Is that how
Habibi,
you
you're
want to
running in
twist things?
circles. You're stepping on your own
So
hypocrisy,
you want
my
me
friend.
to
You forgot
you want
about
me
your
not to
lies.
think.
You
You
forgot
want me
about your
to
lies, my
think,
friend.
not to. So you want me to believe that they shouldn't bomb
You
Israel.
said you don't hate the Jews.
So it's
but then
okay.
you like
So it's
the Jews being
okay.
killed.
So it's
And then you
okay.
said, I hope Iran
I just
keeps
proved
doing
from
it,
historical
and
point.
you
Just proved. You cannot
and
rebuttal
Iran
that
will
point,
keep
man.
fucking you.
You
But
can
then we're
never,
talking about the
ever, your
IGC and not
forefathers
the
can never
Persians.
rebuttal the point, the historical concept. We never killed the Jews. We protected the Jews for 800 years. First in Spain, then the Ottoman.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
why in the
Yeah.
fatherhood, the
It's
Jews who live in
Zionism.
Iraq,
It's
for
Zionists.
example. No, because they
No,
weren't
no, no.
Zionists. The
See, this is a
Zionism didn't
fucking coin,
exist.
man. If you're gonna
And this
show
is the
one
issue.
side, you
The
should
Z-
show the other side too. No, you said how many Jews were
No,
killed. You
because
made the
the
point
fatherhood,
initially, and
the
I rebutted you.
fatherhood,
You do not get to
they were
rebuttal me
not
back with the
Zionists.
same
They
point.
were not Zionists. They were
With
not
the same point.
Zionists. Your point
No,
is
coming
invalid.
back
I
to the same
reject your
point. I have no problem
because
anyone
those were
bombing
not
Israel.
Zionists,
I have no
and the
problem with
Islam
anyone bombing
screamed
Israel.
Allahu
I
Akbar
have
with a sword
I have no
and
problem with
killed
anyone. I
the
have no
Jews.
problem with the IRGC bombing Israel. I'm gonna say that again and again.
Do you
They
think that's
bought this
fucked
war
up?
among themselves. Why did you?
Do you think it's fucked up
There was a
when Jews
single
got
missile.
killed in Iraq and they're not even Zionists? Is that not fucked
I
up?
have
Do
no
you not say that's
problem.
fucked up?
I have no problem IRGC bombing
Will you accept that
Israel.
behavior? Do
I will
you
never
have
concede.
an
I will never
issue?
step back.
It's the Muslims'
Sure,
fault.
sure,
They
it's
went and
bad.
killed.
It's bad. Really good. It's very bad. I
Fantastic.
wish it
You
not
finally
happened.
did it, Habibi.
Yeah.
Good job, Habibi. But
But
it
are you going to
happened.
concede
And
that
that is
Muslims
not a
protected the Jews for
Zionist
800
issue.
years? Are you going to do the same courtesy and say that Jews were protected under the Muslim Caliphate with some inconsistencies for sure?
Of course, it was never perfect, but yeah, there was some stages there was a bit of protection at some
Sure.
stages.
Thank you
Not
very
always.
much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be like you and lie, okay? But it wasn't also
When did I
perfect.
lie,
The
man?
Jews,
When am I lying, man?
yeah, you
What did I?
you
What
kind
part
of
did I lie?
did a lot. That's all right.
Uh,
You'll see the video soon, so don't worry about it.
What videos?
Take care, my friend.
I'm gonna
You'll
upload
get
you
to
too,
you.
man. Yeah, it's Moment 2 Instagram account. I'm gonna post you too, man. Have a nice day, man. But don't
All
take
right, just don't
things out of
travel. Don't travel to
context.
the west. Do not travel to the
And I have
west, my
no
friend. It won't work.
problem.
You will have to
I have
fly
no
back
problem
to. You will
Iran
have to fly back
bombing
to Saudi
Israel.
Arabia.
Hmm?
No, that's right, because you said already that you support the IRGC, so don't
Don't
go
go to
to
where?
a different Western
Don't go to
country.
where?
Don't go to Western country. Don't go to Western
Don't.
country. No,
Are you
it'd be a
threatening
bad
me?
idea.
I have the
If you go
American
there,
passport.
if you go to a Western,
Yeah.
which passport?
Yeah, I have the American passport. So what's your point?
Fantastic. I will send it
There are
to
people
Homeland
in the American.
Security. I will send it to
Sure,
American Homeland
do
Security.
it.
Thank you very
Do
much.
it.
What is your name?
Do it.
And what is your name?
Do it. My name is Momin Haq. So that's how you
Mumin
guys want to
Haq.
play. When you get so petrified, so you
Fantastic.
try
No,
to intimidate.
Habibi,
You
I'm
cannot
okay.
intimidate me. The
I'm
Indian army
gonna
already
let
detained
the
me.
American.
I already,
Want to let
yeah,
the
sure.
Americans know that you
You have my
support
face right
a
here.
terrorist
I don't support
organization. Don't worry
IRGC.
about it,
I have
Habibi.
no problem them
You did.
bombing
You said it. I
Israel.
have to remember.
They're a
You
genocidal
might get
apartheid
arrested.
state.
You might get arrested.
If I get
Just be
arrested,
careful,
I
Habibi.
sure I get killed. I swear I get killed. Okay, I'm fed up with these
I'm not
guys.
saying be
Yeah,
killed.
I don't have.
No, the US, they can handle you. They can take care of you. If you go back to US
When I'm
with your
gonna having a
American
knife
passport,
on my neck,
Habibi,
I won't be petrified.
it's okay.
Okay, but you will have your knife on your neck. You will be petrified, begging for your life. I'm not gonna beg for
Never.
my life. In Australia, you're gonna send this video to the Homeland Security. That's because that's the
Of
thing. You
course, my
cannot
friend.
rebuttal me. You cannot rebuttal me. So
Oh,
this is
no,
your
yeah,
time.
don't
You know
worry.
Muhammad Hijab?
You'll watch the
Muhammad
video
Hijab?
many
Douglas
times.
Murray? Douglas Murray?
Oh, the guy who
The-
got bankrupt and he lost every single debate and he
Yeah.
also lost to that
You
Christian guy? Yeah,
just
what about
think
that guy?
he spent
Yeah, what about
£1
that guy?
million to put us some
Mhm.
nobody into the ground. That's how much you guys are scared. He cannot rebuttal him, so he put a defamation case. That's like people like you cannot debate me.
Also,
There's
did it
no
on camera to
genocide
claim the
according to you.
IGC.
There's no genocide according to you. That's what do you think,
And I
bro?
proved it to you, and you were able. You
I
weren't able to
prove it to
rebut
you.
it.
I
So
prove it to you
yes,
that you. I prove it
there
to
you
you
have
by
it.
the Israeli numbers, by
It's
the
okay.
Israeli military agencies
You said
numbers.
on
It's
camera that
genocide.
you
What
support
did
the
I say?
IRGC. I will happily
Prove it
send
to
that
me.
to
There's.
Homeland
I have
Security.
no
You'll
problem
see the video.
banning.
You'll
I
see the
have
video,
no
Habibi.
problem bombing
Don't
them.
worry.
No.
No,
I know. Don't
That's okay.
support
Say
them.
what you want.
I like
I'm
them.
gonna say
I'm gonna
no.
say I like
I
them
put the
bombing
video.
Israel. What's gonna?
I like them. You supported them earlier. You
There are
said it. I
tons
have
of
it on
videos of me
camera.
out there. There's tons of videos out of
Assalamu
me out
alaikum,
there.
Habibi. Take care and safe travels, my friend.
And
Enjoy
fuck
prison.
Israel.